Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. Listen, this kind of Delta report old school. If you guys remember early on my channel, when I first started this channel a long time ago, I used to do these reports. It used to come in 3 parts, kind of what I'd call Delta report old school. Well, this is kind of the show I want to do today. A little bit of Delta report old school. Here I am, just sitting here in front of the news, totally disgusted by the mainstream news and what they got to say out there. But I'm looking at it, because, I can't be all over the world here, there, and everywhere to know what's going on, so I have to kind of rely upon them. And are they reliable? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to open up the charts right here. We're going to take a look at some of this articles and stuff. Look at what's going on. Russia, war in Ukraine. It says here that this is like, what is this, day 57 or something? This could go on for like 500 more days. It could go on for 1,000 more days. This going inside Ukraine, bombing in Ukraine, fighting back, and all this kind of stuff. But then they're talking. Now, they're talking right now about these missile attacks and stuff. They're saying, will Russia use a tactical nuke on Ukraine? I keep hearing tactical nuke. Well, you know what? Russia's got more than just tactical nukes. Look here. It says Russia's Satan II missile. They got a missile in Russia right now they call the Satan II. And this thing is not a tactical nuke. This thing is a full-size, able potential to carry a large nuclear payload. I guess the thing is, do you know they got these things now? In these nuclear things. It's called a MIRV, multiple re-entry vehicle, whatever. When it's coming in from the atmosphere, high up, it breaks all into these like 10 or 15 different pieces. And each piece goes off and hits a different city with a giant mushroom cloud. And this is what this Satan thing is. They always hear about, they're talking about, it says the RS-28 Sarmat, which NATO has dubbed the Satan II, is considered Russia's most powerful ICBM, a super heavy-duty thermonuclear-armed intercontinental range ballistic missile. The missile was introduced in 2018. I guess they've just tried one out quite recently. But here's the thing. Why are they so certain they're just going to use tactical nukes? They could use the Satans. They got them, and I don't trust them. I don't trust them as far as you can throw them. I don't think anybody else should trust them. Anyway, so this war could rage on for a long time. We're watching that. Now, Disney World, it says here in the news, would have to pay nearly it says that Florida would have to pay nearly $1 billion to dissolve the special district. Well, you know what the special district is? Disney World is like its own government. The same thing applies to like Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. They have their own special rights and special government in there. A lot of people don't know that. I think there's a place in London, too, like the City of London or something. There's different places on Earth. There's small districts that are actually their own government. But Disney's very curious. They signed this deal years ago where Florida said, okay, you can have your own government in there. They actually have their own police force. They got everything. It's like their own city. I think is it called Reedy Creek? I'm not exactly sure. Well, let's just take a look here real quick. It says Disney why Disney has its own government in Florida and what happens if that goes away. The Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a new bill into law Friday that would eliminate the special legal setup that allows Disney to operate as an independent government around its Orlando area theme parks. You know what I'll tell you, they got underground places in there. I was at Epcot Center years and years ago when I was a kid, and they had this ride that went down underneath the ground, and there was these glass walls, and there was these laboratories and stuff, and they were growing plants down there, and they had these guys in lab coats and stuff, and they were growing these plants, and the plants didn't even have any earth. There was no soil. There was just all these long stringy roots, and they were feeding water to these roots, and they were growing these plants and producing the most wonderful, beautiful produce you ever seen, all deep underneath the ground. all run by solar and stuff. And this was a long time ago because I wasn't very old. And I think they were producing potatoes that they were selling in the shops upstairs, and it's just a wonderful operation they had here. And I think they got almost as much of a city underneath the ground there as they got above the ground, and they're their own special government. It says right here, elimination of Disney's special purpose district known as Reedy Creek could have much further implications for the company and state taxpayers. Here's a look at history of Reedy Creek. What is Reedy Creek? Reedy Creek is a name. Reedy Creek Improvement District, Special Purposes District, created by state law in May of 1967. It gives Walt Disney Company governmental control over the land in and around the Central Florida theme parks. Incredible. So what else we got going on in the news? Southern California's got droughts. They're drying up. The whole United States, they're forming a new Dust Bowl. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before, the Dust Bowl. In the 1930s, when they dug all the farmland away and they stripped all and they plowed everywhere, what happened was they blew all the topsoil away and it formed what was called dust. Dust was everywhere, dust storms. And they called it the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. Well, it's forming again. This big drought-ridden area where the deserts actually start to grow out in the American Southwest. So what else we got going on? Says there's a prisoner swap with Russia. Evidently that's something to do with this war going on. Russia's cutting off natural gas to Bulgaria and Poland. Talks about right here. Biden seeks $33 million for Ukraine. And powers to liquidate Russian assets. I guess he's going to sell all those ships, that they confiscated. They went in there and the Russian oligarchs and stuff, they just took their ships were at sea. I guess they weren't in Russia. But Putin, he took his ship. He had one of these yachts too. He took that yacht and he went racing back to Russia with it so that they couldn't get a hold of it before the war started. So they didn't get Putin's private ship. It says Denmark becomes the first country to halt its COVID vaccination program. Okay, 6% federal funds rate. Some investors say the risk is there, bringing the prospect of more painful treasury sell-offs. Okay, it says there are 8 NASA missions. Just got more time to explore Mars asteroids in the solar system. It's deja vu. Legendary trader recalled 2018 Bitcoin crash issues stark prediction as price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Dogecoin sink. Yeah, they're sinking right now. But they're going to go. They're going to take off at a certain point. And I told you guys we're nearing the end of this bear market in cryptos. And we are. But it's all going to be triggered when the Fed changes direction. The Fed's going to change direction suddenly when the markets turn over. They're going to keep up this nonsense until the markets turn over, and then they're going to change direction. State probe after George Floyd killing. Oklahoma legislature approves ban of abortion. Moderna seeks FDA authorization for vaccine. Let's see what else we got here. Germany drops opposition to embargo on Russian oil. Germany drops opposition to embargo on Russian oil. Wow. Bitcoin adopted as legal tender by an African country, the second to do so after El Salvador. See, one by one, these countries are starting to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. And, if you get a whole bunch of these small countries adopting Bitcoin as legal tender, well, that could just switch everything around, and bigger countries could start jump in at that point. And the whole thing could just flip overnight at a certain point. Germany flips on sending arms to Ukraine. So we got some interesting stuff going on out here in the news. And how much can you trust the mainstream news? Well, you can only trust them as far as almost said as far as you could throw them, but the thing about it, you can throw them very far. Anyway, how far can you trust the mainstream news? Well, only as far as you think. I mean, that's a big question. You got to get new news from someplace. Uh, and I mean, if you don't have any source for news, I mean, these guys got the money to send all of these people out there to different places and stuff and collect news. If they want to bring that news in and give you an accurate picture, that's up to them. If they want to bring that news in and give you a disaccurate picture, that's up to them. But they're in control over the news because they have all these reporters and they have these big budgets, and they can just hop a plane. They can go here, there, and everywhere in the news where the world's news is happening. And, there's probably an awful lot of news out there that doesn't get reported on because nobody gets sent to that place where the news is happening. And so the news just goes unreported. And some places it might be a big story, or not, you just don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit. I think my my program screen has went past its 10 minutes. It'll record for 10 minutes and it shuts itself off automatically. I think if I were to pay them a lot of money, maybe they would say, hey, okay, you can record for more than 10 minutes, but I don't know. But I mean, it's nice that they give me 10 minutes for free. Yeah, because I didn't pay for this particular program, and they give you 10 minutes to do your thing or what you're going to do. I think I'll probably go ahead and purchase it so I can record for more than 10 minutes on this computer. But I've got a license someplace for it or whatever, and I got to just maybe renew it or whatever. I'm just not exactly sure where it is. I'm rambling on a little bit, but that's this show. That's what the Delta Report is like. I mean, it is just basically a news show, and I kind of shifted to cryptocurrencies with it. I'm going to shift more back to cryptocurrencies when everybody gets the crypto energy back again. It's kind of been lost right now. There is no energy behind crypto right now. Everybody's bored with it, kind of, but the energy is going to come back when it kind of starts to come back into the bull market again. And everybody's going to get excited. New people are going to come in, and then I'm going to get the channel going more on the cryptos, more talking about the cryptos again because of the excitement. I like it when we have that excitement around crypto. That happens when we're in a bull market. This has been going on for a long time. We come out of a bull market, everybody loses their enthusiasm for a little while, and we go back into a bull market again. Everybody gets enthusiastic again. I prefer the enthusiastic periods, but for you guys out there who think that we are past the phase of the early adopter phase, no, we are still early adopter phase, I think, in Bitcoin. I don't think we're to the stage where the majority of the people are in there, because the price is going to be an awful lot higher when we get to that phase, and you got people just don't realize how much money's out there in the system, or liquidity's out there in the system that's like trapped in the system and trapped in fiat currencies that's going to pour out at a certain point. Catch you guys in the next show and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.